Well, here it is. Arrma's X-Maxx killer. The Fireteam tactical unit. 1/7 scale, 6S, brushless power. Crazy looking. Let's get into this thing. Probably one of the first things that you notice on this is the military-inspired wheels and tires. They look like they have an airless tire system, but they're not. They are filled with foam. It's just a print that's been put on the outside, basically. Next thing you notice on this is the new body style they came up with. It looks like a side-by-side, four-seater, open cage kind of idea. 4 passengers molded in with Lexan, movable arms, movable heads, holding rifles except for the driver, all wearing goggles because, you know, safety first. Cage is mounted with body pins, not hinged as some people had expected, using body posts already being utilized on most of the other 1/8 scale trucks, except for the front one that is unique to this body, along with the body guides to help hold everything straight and square. You pull the cage off, you'll notice that it's reinforced really well with another internal roll cage to help you with your rollovers and give you a little bit of added crash protection. Front and rear bumpers are fairly substantial, should be able to protect you pretty well from any unexpected encounters with shins, trees, or curbs. When you dig in a little bit further into it, you see that they've got what they're referring to as a handbrake module, powered by the S650 servo with 99 ounces of torque. Plastic gears, unfortunately, nylon gears. But what it is it's rigged up onto a little disc brake that's running on the rear drive shaft going to the rear axle. This locks it up so you can set this into a slide and start getting crazy and start doing some wild antics. Same concept is already used in the felony and the infraction. There's always a huge hit in parking lots. It'll be really interesting to see how it works out on the dirt. Electronics that you'll find in this one are going to be your standard Spectrum electronics that they've been doing in all of their 6S vehicles lately. You do have the transmitter is an SLT3, 2.4 gigahertz, 3-channel transmitter, does not have AVC. The receiver that is in here is the Spectrum SR315 3-channel. ESC and motor combo is 150 amp smart ESC, paired up with a Arrma 250 kV brushless motor, which has also been equipped with a fan on top just to help keep the engine cool. Nicest thing about this motor that I find is the fact that it has the safety pinion gears, which means that if your pinion is not entirely tight, it's not going to come flying off of your motor. Chassis is a 3mm aluminum plate, shared with the Mojave, which I'm sure you guys have seen lots of those around. That's also a very, very kick-ass platform. Steering's being handled by the S652 Metal Gear digital capable servo. That's rated at 265 ounces of torque. It should be more than enough to get the wheels turning on this guy. It does come with a metal servo horn, which is really cool. And the servo savers on these, I'm anticipating if it's anything like it is on the Mojave, it should be pretty high quality. Keep you going in the direction you need it to go. Majority of the parts are shared with most of the other 6S line. Your A-arms are shared with the Creighton, the Outcast, and the Notorious. Your dog bones are going to be also shared with the Creighton and the 6S line. I need the monster truck style 1/8 scale ones that they have in the 6S. And then when you get into your chassis and any of the lengthwise stuff, all that stuff is pretty much shared with the Mojave chassis. Your center drive shafts are the same. Center diff is the aluminum one that is also shared with the Team Lucy Racing tuned Typhon 1/8 scale. So that should be pretty beefy and be able to handle your brake skids and your slides. Okay, let's get into the reason why I think this is going to be the X-Maxx killer. The overall length of the Fireteam is going to be 24.21 inches as compared to X-Maxx at a 30.67 inches. Wheelbase of 16.61 inches. X-Maxx has a wheelbase of 18.92 inches. It has a width of 17.72 inches. And the X-Maxx has a width of 22.26 inches. Overall ride ground clearance, whatever you want to call it, 2.76 inches on the Fireteam and 4 inches claimed on the X-Maxx. Now this is the part that really gets you. 13.77 pounds without battery for the Fireteam, 19.1 pounds for the X-Maxx. These two vehicles, 6S as opposed to 8S power, that weight difference is going to totally make up for the fact that you're not packing around all that extra weight. You're going to see this thing getting beat to hell. It's not going to break as easy because it's lighter. It's going to go faster because it's lighter. It's not going to roll over as easy because it's got a lower center of gravity. Everything about it is lower center of gravity. This is going to be a basher's dream. Now let's compare the difference in the size of tires here, or wheels as you want to call it. So the Fireteam has a 3.8 inch rim as opposed to X-Maxx with a 5.7 inch. 17 millimeter hex as opposed to 23 millimeter hex. Overall height of 6.65 inches compared to 8 inches on the X-Maxx. And a width of 2.56 inches as opposed to a 4-inch width on the X-Maxx. Now that all sounds like the X-Maxx is bigger and better, but that's less rotating mass. Lower rotating mass is going to make this thing spin up and get up to speed quicker on 6S than you're going to find it's going to get on 8S with the X-Maxx. So I think you're still going to see better handling characteristics out of these wheels and tires. You're going to see a lot more options. 17 mil hex and 3.8 inch rim. That's pretty much a standard size for most 1/8 scale monster truck style builds. 40 series tires. You know, you're going to find a lot of wheel options if you don't like these wheels and tires, and you're just going to be able to bolt them up and go. Way more tires options out there, so that's another reason it's going to be a really good basher's dream. The other thing you're going to find with this is that the price point on this is way lower than an X-Maxx. Your average X-Maxx is going to run about $1,000, give or take, whereas this one's coming in at about a $750 mark. So by the time you've added your batteries and all your extras to it, you might be up to the X-Maxx pricing, but you're going to be up and running a lot faster and a lot cheaper, and that's going to make anybody who wants to go bash and just meet on something way happier. So I'd say Traxxas, you better look out. X-Maxx, you better look out. Fireteam is on its way to get you.